Hello, and welcome to the Empowerography podcast. This is a platform created for women's voices to be heard and a place to share their stories, journeys, and successes with the world for the purpose of helping other women who might be on similar journeys. We are empowering women one episode at a time. I'm your host, Brad Walsh, so kick back, grab one of your favorite beverages, and enjoy the stories. If you've ever felt like your voice didn't matter, like your story wasn't worth sharing, you're not alone. At the Empowerography Live in-person conference this year, we brought together voices from around the world, women who chose to stand up, speak out, and share stories that changed lives. And here's the truth. Your voice matters too. If you've ever felt that pull to share your story as a guest on a podcast, to start your own podcast, or step into your power, this isn't random. It is your invitation. Head over to empowerographypodcast.com and see how you can turn your voice into impact, because your story isn't just yours. It's someone else's survival guide. Hello there, Brad Walsh here, your host of the Empowerography podcast, a platform that was created to help elevate and amplify the voices of women through sharing their stories. Today, my guest is Jaskirat Kaur. She is a Mindvalley certified life coach, an author, a speaker, and an advocate for mothers of kids with autism. Welcome, Jaz. How are you doing today?
Thank you. I'm good. How are you?
I am fantastic. Thank you. I am so excited to have you here. Thank you so much for taking and making the time to be here with me today. Looking forward to jumping in and sharing a little bit about the beautiful light you put out into the world through the work you do, as well as a bit about your story and your journey. So with that being said, let's jump right in. So before you became an advocate and support system for autism moms around the world, you were living a very different life working in software development. Could you take us back to that chapter of your life and tell us what things looked like before your son's diagnosis changed everything for you?
Yeah. So I was born and raised in northern part of India, Punjab, and I did what the normal path that you would say. You get into good school, get degrees, and then get a good job, get married on time, have kids. So I was checking all those boxes on that checklist. And yeah, I worked as a software developer for almost a decade. And then my husband got a project to work in the States. So we moved here for a few years. And that's where my younger son was born. And then we got permanent residency for Canada. So we moved to Canada. And yeah, life before his diagnosis was just, normal. Yeah, it felt, we're doing everything right. So it just felt normal. We were happy doing our things. And we were so excited to build this new life in Canada, to start from the scratch. We were so excited and everything. But yeah, life had its own plans.
Yes, for sure. So before motherhood changed everything, you spent nearly a decade in software development, a world driven by logic, code, systems. What was your life like back then, and who did you believe you were becoming?
Yeah, life was, as you said, any corporate world is so left brain oriented. So that's how we were operating. I knew that my soul is not fulfilled, but then I was like, this is what everyone does for a living. I was getting paid for a job, which I didn't like, but I was like, at least I'm getting paid for it, right? And there was I never listened to my heart. What did I want to do? I was like, whatever the world has created a path for you, you just have to follow it. And everybody around me was doing that. So it was mostly I have to do it. So it wasn't something I wanted to do, but I was like, this is how it's supposed to be done. So I was doing it. But as you said, it's more logical, left brain oriented, and you feel disconnected from your heart and soul in such jobs. But I was just doing it for the sake of having a career and a job. Yeah.
Did you enjoy the work at all?
Not exactly the work, but the friendships that I made at my workplace, they were precious to me. Yeah. Yeah. So that was what kept me going.
Many people build careers thinking that success will eventually bring happiness. They stay in these jobs that they don't like, but they think maybe things will change. Did that world ever give you the deeper sense of purpose you were searching for? Like ever at all, even any small little bit?
No, not the work that I was doing. But again, as I said, the friendships I made and the people I met at my workplace, And those heart to heart conversations that you have not around your work about their personal stories, my
Mhm.
personal stories, our dreams and passions and all those things, that is what makes life beautiful. So yeah, but I know most of the people, they just think like it's a job. Like I used to be that person. So I knew I had to do this, and everybody does it for money, for
Mhm.
earning
Mhm.
livelihood. So yeah, I was doing that just because everyone else was doing. And that's what I thought is success. Yeah, at
Y-
that time.
So many people stay stuck in the jobs that they absolutely hate. It's
Yeah.
soul sucking. You live for those 2 days at the end of the week. And
Yeah.
even then, it's not even 2 full days because Sunday, you're thinking about, "Oh my gosh, I have to go back on
Yes.
Monday."
Yeah.
And Friday, you're too tired to do anything. Saturday, you have to do all the things that you were unable to do during the week.
Yeah.
So
Groceries, laundry, and yeah.
yeah, all that stuff. So you really don't even get a full day to yourself.
It's a non-stop cycle,
For
totally
sure.
soul broken. Yeah, for
Yes,
sure.
for sure. Sometimes life doesn't whisper to us, it interrupts us. Would you say that your son's diagnosis was an interruption or an awakening?
So initially, for sure, it was an interruption. As I said, my life was going on smooth, everything was going well. But then it was an interruption, which forced me to stop and pause and think and process what's happening now. So initially, it felt like an interruption, but it's over the next few years is where I thought that was meant to be. It was for
Hmm.
my awakening, for my soul. But it's hard. Initially, it's always hard. And I'm
Of
sure most
course.
of the moms can, yeah, relate to it.
Yeah. Looking back now, do you think the woman who worked in software had any idea that her life would one day revolve around healing, spirituality, and supporting other mothers?
No way. No, not even in my dreams
Not
of
in a
this.
million years.
No. Yeah. It was all left brain, logical and practical things. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever struggle with the loss of your professional identity when you stepped away from that career?
Initially, yes, because I think I had tied my self-worth with the income that I'm bringing in the house,
Hmm.
how much I'm contributing financially. So it does take a toll on your mental health when you have to abruptly leave a career that was well paying. But then I had to make this decision, and we both, like my husband and I, we sat down. Even as I told you, we were beginning a new life in this
Hmm.
country, and it's expensive. One income just shutting off now was a huge decision for both of us,
Hmm.
but we knew we had to do this. And it did feel like for initial year or so, I felt like I'm not contributing anything. And I could see my husband working in so stressful conditions. So yeah, but it's gradually I taught myself to disconnect from that piece of income, but look at the other contributions that I'm making. I'm spending time with my children, I'm
Hmm.
cooking for them, cleaning, doing everything. And of course, with an autistic kid, you have to take them to therapies, then you have to
Hmm.
work with them throughout the day as well. You just can't rely on the therapist doing the work and you not doing anything, right? So
Yeah.
that was a huge contribution. But it took me a little while to look at that in that way. Yeah,
Hmm.
but initially it did feel like my self-worth was gone.
Yeah. But what you stepped into was another full time job, really, and
It
then
is.
some.
Yeah.
Because you're taking care of the house, you're taking care of the kids. You also have a child that's autistic, so that's extra work for you. And like you said, you can't leave everything to the therapist.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's a lot. But so was there anything in particular, like one moment that made you realize, wait a minute, no, no, I'm contributing a heck of a lot here? Was there any one particular thing or just it just happened gradually for you?
I think gradually, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because I had earned for 10 years prior to that.
Right.
It's a huge thing when you have to leave that
Hmm.
decade-long career abruptly. But then gradually, yeah, I had to, even my husband supported in that. He kept telling me, what you are doing is much more than what I'm doing. Just working on the finances, bringing money in, but rest of everything in the house and outside the house, taking kid to the therapy and my older son to his classes, swimming classes, and all those things. So he said, your contribution is priceless. I think
Hmm.
he also helped me shift my perspective to how I looked at the contribution that I was making.
What did you do for yourself though in that time that you started to look out for you and take care of Jazz? Did you have free time for you?
Oh, not in the beginning. And I didn't even feel worthy of it. Even if I would take out 5 minutes for
Hmm.
myself, I would feel guilty of taking those
Wow.
5 minutes because you are like every moment that I have to work with this kid, how many words he said today, did he make an eye contact today, did he respond to his name? I used to make Excel sheets of the words he used to
Wow.
say. So it was all about him. And I had
Hmm.
totally lost myself. Yeah.
Wow. I admire your strength and courage and resilience, Jack.
Thank you so much.
Many mothers of special needs children quietly carry enormous emotional weight, as you just explained. Part of it, what was the hardest truth you had to face during that time?
I think the hardest thing is that nobody understands, not even your close relatives,
Hmm.
friends, because it's new for everyone. I don't
Right.
blame them. But because nobody understands, you are left isolated. You can't even express how you're feeling. And then because my husband was so into his work and everything, so there was this distance. He was so focused on his work, I couldn't even, and I didn't want to burden him with
Right.
what I am going through. So I'm sure the mothers can relate to me when you just cry in showers or at
Hmm.
bedtime. And you can't just express to anyone. You just put this smile on your face and go about your day after day, but what's going on inside, there's no one with whom you can share that. That is really painful.
For sure, because that just builds up and
Yeah.
continues to build up inside you
Yeah.
until it finally comes out.
Yes. Yeah. And it takes a toll on your physical health as well. Mental,
Yeah,
emotional, physical health. Everything is impacted.
for sure. At some point in your journey, you had a powerful realization that if you didn't start to take care of your own well being, you couldn't fully take care of your son, too. When did that truth finally hit you?
I think I started reading books. That was a very good thing that happened to me. I was never a reader before that, but I don't know how I stumbled upon these books. And the one book in particular that I remember was Dying to Be Me by Anita
Hmm.
Moorjani. Have you heard
Hmm.
of it?
I
It's
have
about
heard
her
of it.
near death
Yes.
experience and
Yes.
everything. But she has talked at length about self love, and
Hmm.
especially for women, like how we are raised to just sacrifice. We are
Hmm.
glorified for sacrificing our careers, our bodies, our passions, ambitions, everything. That really made me think if I am not filling my cup and I'm trying to pour into my child's cup every day, it's draining me and it's not doing any good to that child as well. So that made me, yes, pause and think and decide that I need to work on myself as well, make myself a priority, and tell myself every day that I matter, my joy matters, my health matters, and my hobbies, my ambitions, everything matters. So that was a lifelong conditioning that I was living with, being a woman and being a mother. You
Hmm.
know, always putting yourself on the back burner, serving everyone, and thinking, yeah, this is the best thing I can do. But I think her book changed my perspective to if you want to do the caregiving and you want to serve your family, do it with an energy of joy and love.
Hmm.
And that can only happen if you look at yourself. What do I want today? What do I want to eat today? So that was huge for me. That was the first time I heard the word self love. Before that,
Wow.
it wasn't in my vocabulary. Yeah. So that really shifted something huge inside of me. And I can see its impact. The moment I decided I have to work on myself, I have to make myself a priority, I could see the energy with which I was serving my child now. And the results of that is energy is what matters the most. It's your
Yeah.
biggest currency.
That is incredible. Did you okay, so you read the book Dying to Be Me. Did you start that work immediately as you were reading through the book, or did you finish the book and then start, or did it take a little bit of time to step into that and absorb all that information you
So
just
when I read the book,
Mhm.
I started following her on Instagram and
Okay.
started watching her YouTube videos.
Mhm.
And yeah, it was a gradual process of watching her videos, listening to her again and again, so that it becomes a part of my
Mhm.
subconscious mind. Because again, as I said, it's a lifelong conditioning. You cannot just erase it in one day or
No.
one night. You have to, yeah, you have to remind yourself every now and then. And for that, you need resources outside of you because sometimes you just forget to remind yourself. So you need something else. So I have listened to the podcast and watched her videos and everything. Her TED Talk was amazing, I remember. So yeah, it was a gradual process
hmm
of started to love myself.
It's a very important part of the conversation here, this piece in particular, especially for the women out there listening, because, like you said, so many women have been conditioned for so long to believe that putting themselves first is selfish. They have to put their kids first, their partner, their community, their family, their friends. Everybody comes first, and then you get what's left for you. But no, you are a perfect example that it's the exact opposite. You have to fill your cup first, because then that gives you the space and the energy to give more to those who you choose to give to. But it's
Yes.
like you said, it's very hard, and it takes time to break all of those years of conditioning and what you've been told and the way you've been told to live and the way you've been told that this is the way things need to be done.
And this is how your mom did, this is how your
Yeah.
grandmother did.
Yes.
So you have no role model to look at and
hmm
be like, okay, I want to be like her. So we
hmm
just became the copies of our grandmothers and
hmm
our moms who loved sacrificing and that's why they're born.
But isn't that incredible that you're the cycle breaker? You
Yeah.
broke the cycle. That
Yeah.
is powerful, Jazz. That is
I think it
huge.
is. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. When do you believe that some children come into our lives not just to be raised, but to awaken something within us as parents?
Yeah. I think every child, whenever a child comes into your life, I think most of the parents think, oh, it's time for me to teach him. This is how I'll make him. This is what I'll teach him. And this is the path. I know what's right or wrong for him.
hmm
Parents are all ready to teach. But I think with every child comes an opportunity for you to learn from them because they're such pure souls. Every
hmm
child in their childhood, they're so in present moment they'll so easily forgive and forget what happened if they had a fight with their friends. I think we need to learn a lot from them. So I think, yeah, parents have to flip the script and be
hmm
ready to learn once they become a parent. What
Yeah.
is this child here to teach me? And every child, I think every child is a teacher if you look at them that way.
Be open to receive,
Yes,
have an open
yes.
mind and an open heart.
Yeah, yeah,
There's even now we can look back and learn so much from kids. They live so freely, nothing like so
yeah,
many lessons we can take in our
yeah.
own lives as adults.
Yeah, they cry when they want to cry. They
Yes.
don't suppress their anger.
Yes.
It's we who teach them to suppress their anger.
Yes.
And they live in the present moment. And
Which is
when they
one of the
create,
most important pieces.
yeah, and when they create a piece of art or something, it doesn't matter how it looks to
No.
the world. They are just happy. I created
Yes.
something. And look at us adults, always looking for validation. Oh, look
Mm.
at this thing I created.
Yeah.
If someone says, yeah, it's good, then I feel good. But if someone criticizes my work, I'd be like, oh, I did something bad.
Yeah.
That's not how a child thinks.
That's
They're still
right.
proud of whatever they create.
They
Um,
color outside the lines and it's okay.
yes, yes.
Looking back now, do you feel like your son chose you for this journey in some deeper spiritual way?
For sure. Yes. It feels like a soul connection as if we
Mm.
have been together for lifetimes. Definitely. I think, yeah, for every parent and child, I think there is a soul connection. And
hmm
I feel that they chose who they want their parents to be. And I'm so blessed he chose me. I'm so grateful.
When you sit quietly and reflect on your journey as a mother, what has it taught you about the strength of the human soul?
Wow. I think we humans tend to forget our power and the strength that is within us. And I don't know who said this, but something along the lines of, you never know how strong you are unless being strong is the only option left. The
Mm.
strength is always there, but there has to be an outer circumstance or something that reminds you or extracts that strength out of you. So human, they are just reflection of the divine, but we forget it. We are conditioned to forget it. But once we remember that, once we understand that power, the strength that lies within, the whole world starts changing. Yeah.
Mm. It's sad because not everyone does remember the strength and the power they have within. But you're right. I love that. It is a sense of remembering. It's always there within us. That strength never goes away. It's just been, I think it's just in a lot of people, it's just been pushed so far down that we have completely forgotten who we
Yeah.
are and the strength and the power we hold within
Yes.
us as
Yeah.
humans.
Yeah. It's buried deep under the fears
Hmm.
that we have been conditioned with. So we are constantly living in fear. But I think we need to unlearn some of that conditioning
Yes.
to bring to our true self, true power.
But you also have to be willing to look within and do the work,
Yeah. Because you
right?
always have a choice of either
Yes.
becoming a victim,
Yep.
because that's an easy route to be a
Yes.
victim, then you don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
You just keep blaming the outer
Hmm.
circumstances and
Hmm.
people. But then there is another route, like stopping, pausing, and asking yourself, what is life trying to teach me through this? And am I ready to learn that? So there are definitely two paths and choices. Yeah, are full.
I love that. Do you believe motherhood, especially with a special needs child, is one of the most profound spiritual initiations that a woman can go through?
Yeah. I think motherhood in itself,
Hmm.
once a woman gives birth to a child, it's always an initiation. But the thing is, we moms are hormonally or whatever is going on in our bodies. We don't realize it when we give birth, but it is an initiation into a spiritual world if you think from that perspective. And with these special needs children, I think it's even bigger. But
Hmm.
if you chose to look at it that way, because not everybody does that.
Yeah.
But it is definitely, yeah, it definitely shifts something inside of you if you're open to it. So
Hmm.
motherhood in itself is a spiritual initiation. It's a whole new world. It's a version 2.0. You'll never go back to that previous
Yeah.
self. Your
Yep.
body won't ever go back to that
No.
previous self. Your hormones, your mindset, and then your emotions, and spiritually as well. This
Mm.
is the next chapter now.
Women are a sacred portal. That's it. We need to acknowledge the strength and the resilience of women. Women are incredible beings, and they've been cast aside and silenced and all the things for so long. We have to change this. You women are you bear children. That is a miracle.
It's a miracle, yeah, for sure. But not
It,
every man recognizes that, and I really admire you for that.
thank
The
you.
way you are so passionate about working with these women, giving them a platform, giving a platform for their voices, for their stories to be heard. It's huge. It's incredible work that you're doing.
Thank you. I received that, but it's so important because women's voices have been silenced for so long. But with each woman that participates, that becomes part of the Empowerography community to share her, think of the ripple effect of that. The women that each of you are helping, who you're going to help with sharing your journey and your story. So it's not just helping that one woman; it's helping multiple and men as well. Men have a lot to learn, and they can learn from listening to all of the incredible stories that you women are sharing on this platform.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm honored that you are part of this, and I'm loving this conversation is so important and so powerful. So thank you for sharing your vulnerability and for sharing your experience and journey. You often talk about healing your own soul first. What were some of the wounds or patterns that you had to confront within yourself during this journey?
I think the biggest pattern I recognized in myself was being a people pleaser. Always do what people expect you to do. As
Mm.
I said in my previous chapter of my life, I was a software developer. The path was laid down by other people, and it was like, yes, I have to follow this. I don't know if I was pleasing the people,
Mhm.
or I thought I had no other choice. This is how it's done. But I think, yeah, once with this journey of being an autism mom, now I had a child who was not behaving the world wants him to behave, not saying
Mhm.
the words that the world expects him to say by the age of 3 or 4, not getting potty trained like other kids at the age of 3. He was breaking all those normal things. right? Normal.
Hmm.
So he broke my pattern of that. I had to be okay with doing things differently,
Hmm.
doing it on different timelines. And that definitely shifted something in me as well, because this, what I'm doing right now is different. It's a unique path, which I never thought of, and which the world wouldn't want me to do, or some people might not even like that I'm doing it, right? Because
Hmm.
it's different. I don't know why we are scared of different. I don't know why we can't embrace that uniqueness, but that's how the
Hmm.
world operates. You have
Yeah.
to blend in. And that's what I was doing it for so many years. But
Hmm.
it's my kid who started breaking these patterns, and I could clearly see that this is happening for me. I have to look at my patterns and I have to break them and choose a new path, different path that speaks to my soul, to my heart. So, yeah, it's
That I
been,
think that fear of doing things differently comes from being in these comfort zones that it's scary to do stuff differently. You're
it
worried
has.
about what other people might say. Within, it's, oh my God, I'm scared. How am I going to do this?
Yeah,
But it nothing grows in comfort zones. We have to step outside those comfort zones in order to
yes.
grow and expand as a human, as a soul. We need to do that. And
Well,
kids don't come with guidebooks and teaching us
manual.
how to manuals, yes.
Yeah.
And then you add on top of that that your child has autism. That's
Oh,
that just adds another layer or another chapter to that manual that they don't come with. So it's we have to learn as we go, and we do the best with what
yeah.
we have and what we know. But it's a learning process. And when it comes to something like this, you have no choice. This is what you have to do.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you have to learn to get uncomfortable with being, you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yes. That's true.
It's part of the journey.
Yeah.
You may not like it every day, but it
Mm.
this is what it is. And to
Yeah.
your point about what you're saying, you can either play the victim or you can get on board and learn and
Or,
figure out how you're going to do things differently and be okay with it.
yeah. Now, when I think about it, I'm like, if God gave all the 8 billion people different fingerprints, like it doesn't even
Hmm.
match. Nobody has this face. Nobody ever had it in history. Nobody's going to have it in future. Why did he work so hard to make everything different in me and then send me to the world to follow what everyone else is doing? So that was a huge revelation for me. Like, why aren't we just doing it like what everyone else is doing? If God has made us unique, we have to understand the importance of it and then embrace it. And every unique person and everybody is different, everybody is unique. And that's what makes this world beautiful place. But it's, yeah, we don't think it that way.
I
It's
love
safe
that
to be
perspective.
safe to blend in, safe to do what
Yes.
my neighbor is
Yes.
doing, my cousin is doing.
I love that perspective, though. Thank you for sharing that. That's a beautiful perspective and a beautiful way to look at it.
Mm.
How did spirituality begin to play a role in your healing process? Were you always spiritual, Jazz? Was that always
I
part
don't
of
think,
something of who you were?
um, I've been raised in a very religious household. So I
Hmm.
was always like, I believed in God.
Hmm.
But it was obviously from a religious perspective. You pray to God and you pray
Yeah.
for all the things you want in your life.
Yeah.
It was never to thank God for this opportunity. And nobody taught us that we are a soul, we are not this body. So these things
Hmm.
were new for me. I'm a soul in this through this body, and also religion, most of the religions, not the religions, I think it's the misinterpretation of the religion
Right.
that teaches us that God is something outside of you.
Hmm.
But spirituality taught me that God is within me and it's within you and within
Hmm.
everything in us. Like that one single divine life force energy is running in everyone. And that just shifts your perspective. Like, how you look at all the challenges in your life, how
Hmm.
you look at other people, how you look at what's going on in the world. So it just shifts your perspective when you stop looking at everything from a human level and
Hmm.
think about it from a soul level, a higher self level. So spirituality, definitely, it's a big part of my journey, especially after being an autism mom. And I don't know if you read the books of Dr. Brian Weiss. So one of the books, Messages from the Masters.
Okay.
There was one paragraph in that book. So he was this hypnotist and he did past life regressions and all those things. So
Hmm.
all his books are related to that. But he talked about autistic kids and other special needs kids,
Hmm.
that these kids are highly advanced souls who come into your life to give you an opportunity to serve them with your unconditional love and patience, and thus evolve you spiritually and bring you closer to God and your true self. That was another big perspective shift, because until then I was looking at my child as a victim, pitting him. He can't do this, he can't do that. Maybe it's my past life karma or something.
Hmm.
But his books changed my perspective to he is much more advanced soul, much closer to the divine, the creator, than I am. And he's just playing this role of his limited self, or some kids have physical disability. This is
Hmm.
invisible disability, but he has been given this role, and it's for me. It's for evolving my soul. It's for making me remember why I'm here and who I am truly. So spirituality just, I think, changes the way you look at anything, especially the people whom you pity a lot. Who
Hmm.
someone is murdered, or someone has been shot dead or something. I know as a human, we are like, oh, why did this happen? Poor.
Hmm.
But on soul level, everything is happening as per the divine will. Everything is orchestrated beautifully. And there is
Hmm.
no one who is victim. Nobody is a victim. So you can be living life beautifully, and you feel everything around you is beautiful.
What a beautiful perspective and way. When someone dies, we're sad and it bothers us. And why did this happen? That's the first thing we say. Why did this have to happen? But everything has already been planned. It's all
Yeah.
laid out and
Yeah.
it's happening as it's meant to happen.
Yes.
Soul contracts, all of this stuff, it's
Mm.
all been already done.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I love this. I love this conversation, Jazz. It's so
Thank
powerful
you.
and so beautiful. What did you discover about yourself when you began tending to your own inner child?
Yeah. I think the biggest discovery was that maybe I was different too as a child, but I just learned how to blend in and do what everyone else was doing. So that was big for me. Yeah, because now when I look back, I remember many incidents where I was like, "Well, why are they doing this? Or why is everyone doing it?" But I never questioned it out loud, because I was like, everybody thinks the same way. I knew that I was thinking differently and I was feeling differently, but I had to shut all those things down just to
Hmm.
blend in and be the part of the whole. But now, of course, I've reached a point where I'm like, I have to embrace what's different in me, and I have to voice my opinions, which I've shut down for so many years just because I don't want to offend anyone and fear of
Hmm.
rejection and all those things. But now I'm at a place where I understand the power of my voice. And if there is a thought or something coming in me, if my heart is saying something, I have all the right to say it out loud
Hmm.
without thinking about what will other things or will they resonate or not.
Hmm.
It's my job to use my voice. So definitely, yeah, I think I've been connected back to my inner child, and now I'm telling that inner child it's safe to be yourself. It's safe to speak up. You know.
Yeah, we all have a voice and we all have it to use it. It was given to us to use it.
Yes.
So we do. We need to learn to again, it's a sense of remembering that it's there with the conditioning and all the other external forces that have taught us to be quiet and all of these different things. It's a matter of sitting with yourself and realize, no, my voice is in me for a reason and I have the right to use it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Some people see autism only as a challenge. Have there been moments where you've experienced it in particular as a I know that we've talked about how your son is your teacher, but where have you experienced it as a profound teacher? What is one of the most profound things?
So when I look at him, I think he's the most joyful being I've ever seen. He finds so much joy in his own world, in his own zone, creating things and doing things his own way. And he's never looking for validation. He doesn't want to show off his work or something. He's so content in himself. And I think that's the biggest lesson for me. We can live our life that way as well. We can find joy in our own ways in whatever we do and be joyful, irrespective of whether we are getting the validations from and approvals from outside or not. That has definitely been a biggest lesson. And I think joy is something that we all need, we all
Hmm.
long for. But I don't know why we're scared of being joyful. But when you look at these kids, they are so happy. You can see the joy in their eyes, the shine and spark in their eyes. You just know how joyful this child is. And why can't we be that?
But again, it goes back to what you said earlier about we have a choice. You can either stay the victim or you can choose to be happy. Joy is our birthright. We have
Yes.
that birthright. You deserve, everybody on this planet deserves to be joyful and happy. And you can make it. You can make it. It's just, it's
Mm,
up to you. You have to
mm,
choose joy over
yes.
victimhood or
Yes.
sadness or whatever it is. And I'm not saying just tamp down and stuff down the sadness when it comes. We
Mm,
have to, we're emotive beings. We have to
yes.
feel the emotions when they come. That's
100%.
part of being a human.
Yes.
But I think the key is not to stay stuck in those
Mm,
lower vibration emotions.
yes. Yeah. True.
As I mentioned off the top, you're an advocate for mothers with children who have autism. At what point did you realize that your journey wasn't just about you and your family anymore? It was about helping other mothers walk that same path.
Yeah. I think when I saw the changes within me, the peace and calm that comes with accepting your child just as he is and stopping to worry about future and everything. And then because I'm connected with so many other autism moms, I'm in
Mm-hmm.
all these WhatsApp groups and Facebook groups, and I see their pain and I see them still struggling in that zone where I was a few years back. So I felt this inside of me. But before that, you know what? I started working with other kids on spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
I worked as a respite worker for a family with a child with autism. And I also part-time worked in my son's school as educational
Okay.
assistant EA. So I worked with
Mm-hmm.
other autistic kids as well. But again, I found that these kids are so joyful. They are not suffering. It's their parents who are suffering. It's their moms who are suffering.
Mm-hmm.
So that is when I decided to shift my path and work with these moms to remind them that your child is not a burden. He's
Mm-hmm.
not broken
Mm-hmm.
and you don't have to fix him. And you have to work on yourself first. You have to heal yourself first. Love yourself first before you do that for your child. And that is how my path just gradually shifted towards the moms.
That
Yeah,
is
because I can
beautiful.
resonate with them. I was
Mm-hmm.
one of them a few
Yeah.
years back. Yeah.
How old is your son?
He'll turn 9 in a few
9.
days.
Okay. Wow. You have 2 kids or just
Yes,
1?
I have 2
Two.
boys.
Okay. So how does your other son handle and deal with this? And how old's your other son?
He's almost 16. Yeah, so he's adult now,
Yeah.
and he helps with that caregiving piece, which gives
Mm-hmm.
me time to breathe, or
Yeah.
me and my husband and I can go out for 1 hour or something, and he can
Right.
look after my younger one, which is a huge blessing. Initially, I think because when I was too engrossed in my younger son's caregiving and his therapies and everything, I definitely ignored my
Right.
firstborn because I
Right.
wasn't even looking at him, how he was
Mm-hmm.
doing. And so those years might have impacted him for sure.
Did he say anything? Like did
No,
he
he's not
no.
very expressive, is what I've
Okay.
seen. Yeah, but right now I think he's doing his best to be a big brother. And
Mm-hmm.
we as parents also make sure because there are many things that you can't do as a family when you have autistic child because
Mm-hmm.
he can get sensory overload. You can't go
Right.
to the parties and movie theaters as a family. So
Right.
we built our life around his diagnosis. But then
Mm-hmm.
we do understand and acknowledge that our older son has different needs, his own
Yeah.
desires. We try to make sure if he wants to go for a movie, one of us can accompany him and have that
Right.
experience so that he
Yeah.
doesn't feel that these things are missing from his life.
Mm-hmm.
So we have definitely all made adjustments here and there. And now I'm at a place, yeah, where he is equally important to me. I talk to him, but he's a teenager, so you know
Yeah.
how it busy
Yes. We
might
know
be.
how
So
teenagers are.
just talk in one word. How was your day? Good, good. So yeah, it's tough.
How did he handle and deal with the diagnosis of your younger son at first? I know he was younger, obviously, then, but
Yeah, he
how
was
did
quite young at that time. I think he was just confused. He was trying to
Mhm.
understand, but he never asked any questions. And I could
Mm.
see one thing when he would see other kids of my younger son's age
Mhm.
talking and making friends and all those things. He would come home and ask, why doesn't he do it? Why
Right.
can't he do it? So I know that has definitely impacted him as well. But now, because he's a little grown up, and I'm sure he might have seen other special needs kids in his own
Mhm.
school, in his own classroom, I think it must have made him much more empathetic and
Mm.
understanding.
Yeah.
As I said, he's not very expressive, but I can
Right.
see that kindness, that understanding and wisdom in him. And
Mhm.
that might be because of what he has gone through with his sibling,
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Thank you for sharing that. I was curious about that. So thank you for opening up and sharing about that. What are some of the emotional battles that autism moms fight that the outside world rarely sees?
there are a lot of invisible battles, a
Mhm.
lot of challenges that nobody outside of the house knows what's going on in here. For every mother, I can say when she wakes up in the morning, she has no clue how the day is going to be,
Mhm.
because the whole day revolves around how many meltdowns your child will have today. Will he be eating something? Will mealtime be a struggle? Will shower time be a struggle or not? And then again, it depends on the age as well, because when my younger son was quite little, trimming the nail, washing his hair, giving him shower, brushing his teeth, everything was a challenge. He
Mhm.
didn't want to sit and do any of those things. But now, as he has grown up, he knows, okay, this is expected, and he complies.
Yeah.
But then there's so many things. You have to advocate for your child in schools. There are
Mhm.
IEP meetings you have to sit in, and the emails, the therapies, and even for the funding, that Ontario has a program where your child will get a funding after a
Mhm.
meeting with you, which
Mhm.
runs for almost 3 hours. In those 3 hours, you just have to talk about what your child cannot do.
Wow.
Imagine what a mom goes through
Oh.
in that meeting of continuously telling, no, my child doesn't know his safety when he goes out on the road. My child can't independently dress up or something. It's so draining. It's so exhausting. And yeah, it's definitely invisible labor that
Yeah.
all these moms are doing. And they have, as I said, we don't go to movies as a family.
Family, yeah.
We don't go to parties. We don't socialize much because we don't want to overload him in
Mhm.
sensory
Yes.
terms. So we built our life around his needs and the
Mhm.
supports that he needs. But then again, every day is so different. If my son was eating carrots, cucumbers, well, yesterday, there's no guarantee if I
That he
offer him today, he'll eat
Yeah.
those. And then and I have to think about, okay, what next I can, okay, make some chicken nuggets or make something else for him.
Mhm.
And then he might refuse that. So it's the whole day process. And then again, like for some kids, like especially mine, he's very curious. He's always up to something. So I can't leave him alone for even 1 or 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Someone has to be there. Like he doesn't do anything in aggression, but out of
Mhm.
curiosity. If I've
Yeah.
soaked lentils in the kitchen, he'll dump everything in the kitchen sink and just find it funny. He
Yeah.
might take out everything out of the fridge. Just this morning, he woke up and he grabbed a popsicle from freezer. I'm like, this is not popsicle weather. And he was like, popsicle, popsicle. So he can do anything at any time. So I'm like,
Yeah.
keep an eye. In fact, he would throw anything in the toilet and flush it,
Oh my
and we will never
gosh.
know what has
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
And then he
Mhm.
finds it funny. He loves
Yeah.
it. And we love that he's joyful, but
Yes.
then obviously it's his function
Yes.
of the property.
Yeah.
So all these things, we have just adapted our lives around these things, but nobody outside of the home knows
Yeah.
like how many times of the day you have to. Even when I take him out in the public, I have noticed that my nervous system is never relaxed. It's constantly in fight or flight
Mhm.
because he can do anything. He doesn't know about his safety, so he can
Yeah.
wander. If it's a crowded place, let's say beach or something.
Yeah.
I could keep my eyes on him or hold his hand. And he's a big foodie. So if he sees someone else eating ice cream, he'll just run there and grab it from them. And people won't understand, right?
No, of
I have
course.
to stop that from happening. So
Yes.
I have to already be prepared for that and be proactive. Like in case this happens, what I'm going to do. So
Mhm.
I'm not enjoying,
No, you
all the
can't.
time. My nervous system is not relaxed. It's always in fight or flight mode. And moms usually don't trust other. I don't even trust my husband. In that case, I'm like, he'll look here and there and he'll just run away. So I'm like, I have to do it. So
Mm.
it's a constant thing, like 24/7.
Holy
You are prepared
cow.
for, yeah. Everything is so uncertain. Every day is so uncertain.
Always on high alert.
Yes, it is. And those who have non-verbal kids, like my child can say a few words,
Mm.
a lot of words, which are tangible things, but
Right.
he can't tell me how his school went. So a non-verbal kid, imagine the mother who would just look at the meltdown and wouldn't even understand why my kid is sad or
Yeah.
crying. She doesn't even know how will she help him. And then if your child is bullied in school, there's no way he can come home and tell you
No.
the kid hit me. You'll
Hmm.
never know that.
Yeah,
So it's really hard.
it
Yeah,
is.
it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have the utmost respect for you and your husband, your son, both your son. That's a lot for a family to deal with. Raising kids without special needs is tough enough.
Yes.
And then you
Yes.
add that extra layer. That is a lot to deal with. A lot. It must be
Okay.
exhausting at times, completely exhausting at times. But as you
Yeah.
said, there's so much joy there too.
Right.
But it's got to be
Yeah.
mentally, physically, spiritually draining at times for sure.
Yeah, I can't deny that, yeah, for sure. Even the sleepless nights, most of the kids on spectrum, they don't sleep well through the night.
Okay.
So, like my son, he can wake up at 3 a.m. and then stay awake for 2, 3 hours, and then
Oh
he would go back
man.
to sleep. But I have to wake up and pack lunch for my other
Right.
son.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's even with after those sleepless nights, you have to get up, you have to show up, and you have to do all the things, the
Yeah.
therapy, taking him to school, and doing everything that you have to do. So, yes, it is exhausting for sure. And that's why I think mothers need to take care of themselves and give
Yes.
themselves permission to take a break. If today I'm not feeling like cooking, let me just order something or
For
maybe
sure.
do some just quick whipping something quickly.
Yeah.
So they just have to give themselves permission that it's okay if we haven't done things perfectly. It's okay if my house is messy, it's not
Hmm.
clean. It's okay. Just give yourself time to breathe. Have
Yeah.
don't look for permission from outside. Give
Hmm.
yourself that grace and
Yeah,
compassion.
for sure. That's a beautiful message. Thank you for sharing that. You say that only a healed mother can bring healing to her children. What does that mean on a deeper level?
Yeah, because when a kid comes into your life with all these special needs, or even with any other challenge that you are facing in your life, if you look at it from a higher perspective, it's always for your good. It's always a mirror for you to look within and operate from that inner wisdom and inner using that inner guide. So I think it's really important to, how do I put this? I'm sorry, I forgot
No,
the
it's
question.
okay. No, it's okay.
I forgot the
Um,
question.
no, it's okay. What you say that only a healed
Oh,
mother
yeah,
can
yeah.
bring healing.
Okay.
Mm.
Yes. So that's what I think of everything, whatever is challenging in your life. And for us moms, yes, autism is a challenge. It's there for a reason. It's showing you where the parts of you that need healing. It
Mm.
wants you to heal. The universe wants you to heal, to look at those parts of you, whether it's inner child, or whether it's your childhood wounding or whatever. You have to look within, heal those parts, and be whole on soul level. And then you can work on your child's healing. Yes, of
Mm.
course, he needs therapies. He needs all these supports, and I have to do that. But the energy with which you operate will dictate what kind of results you get. So you'll have to look at yourself, work on yourself, heal yourself before you do anything for your child. It's very important.
Beautifully said. Beautiful. That's a beautiful reminder. Thank you for sharing that. What does loving yourself actually look like for a mother who feels like she has no time or energy left at all? Just
Yeah.
completely drained,
Yeah. I know
which
it's,
I'm sure you've been there.
yeah, it's hard. I can't say, okay, book a massage or spa. Sometimes they don't have the luxury of time being autism moms. If you have, for sure, I would say, yeah, you should absolutely go shopping and movies or whatever fills your cup. But then even taking 5 conscious deep breaths, Eckhart Tolle always says that if you don't
Mhm.
meditate for 1 hour in the morning, it's fine. But if after every 1 hour, you can just take 3 conscious breaths and check in with yourself. How am I feeling right now? That is much more profound than the 1 hour of meditation in the morning. That doesn't require time. So if moms want, they can do that. And then just checking in with yourself, how much water I drank today, am I hydrated or not? And sometimes just cook something for yourself if you love food. Do something for yourself. And if there's someone to look after your child, just sit in the hot bathtub.
Mm.
There's so many things if we start thinking about it. There's so many little things that don't actually require much time. You can make a list of it. I do that. I keep a list of all the things which I can do on the days when I have lots of time, and then on the days when I really don't have time, when I'm exhausted. So you can make a list and see what I can do right now. Just sipping a cup of tea or coffee, sitting by window, looking at the snow outside, just coming in the present moment. Those deep breaths help. And whatever you're doing, if you're doing it mindfully, being fully in making food or doing the dishes or whatever these monotonous
Mhm.
things, daily life things that you do, just being fully present with yourself, checking with your body sensations are. And I also love when I'm driving, I listen to all the podcasts and things that I want to, which I won't be able to do at home.
Mhm.
And some days I just want to listen to songs,
Mhm.
loud music. I'm
Mhm.
driving and I just want to listen to those songs, or while I'm vacuuming or doing
Mhm.
any of the stuff. For anyone who loves music, so we should find what gives us joy. For
Yeah.
me, music, singing, dancing. And I do take out, I don't have need to have a perfect situation
Mhm.
or circumstance to just dance. I can dance while cooking.
Yep.
Yeah, and I do that and it gives me joy whenever the music is playing
Mhm.
on TV. So there are little things. I'm sure every mother, if you consciously think about you, there will be for sure 3 or 4 things that you can always count on if you don't have time. But those things will bring you back to the center and ground you and get you ready for the rest of the day.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing those tips. I'm sure mothers out there will find them very valuable.
You
What has motherhood taught you about the strength of a woman's soul?
Yeah. Women, as you said, God has created this beautiful species. I would say
Yeah.
it's a miracle that they give birth. It's a miracle that they know how to nurture a kid.
Mhm.
Not just kid, I think they just nurture everyone around them. It's inbuilt in us. And they're so connected to their intuition, their heart. It's so powerful. But it's just that as we grow up, tend to forget these things, the inner power, the inner guide, the wisdom that is already within. And we get disconnected. The more we
Mhm.
operate from our head, the more we are disconnected from our heart. But mothers really is God's best creation, women, all women, I would say.
Mhm.
And they just need to look at themselves from that perspective and then operate from that inner wisdom and stay connected. And that can only happen, yeah, if you don't just rush through your life and take a pause and come to present moment or do something that gives you joy. That is what's going to connect you back to your inner self. And
Mhm.
mother, yeah, it's just strongest creation of God is what I
Mhm.
think moms are. Yeah.
Women. Yeah, absolutely.
We just need to recognize that.
Mhm. Absolutely. And women should be celebrated for that.
Yes. Yeah.
If your son one day listens to this conversation as an adult, what would you want him to know about how his journey changed your life?
Oh, I would want him to know that whatever I am today is because of him. He has been my biggest spiritual teacher. He has
Mhm.
taught me how to live in the present moment. He has taught me how to live joyfully. He has taught me that there are no timelines and there's no race that we are running into. I need to do this by this age and do this by that age. He has taught me so many things. He has connected me so deeply, not just with the divine, the creator, but with myself as well. He has reconnected me back to my heart. And I've started living from that space. And it's beautiful. He has just brought magic in my life.
What an incredible teacher he is.
Yes.
As I had mentioned at the beginning, you're also an author. Can you tell us about the books you wrote or participated in, the titles, what that process was like for you, and what you wrote about? And I also know that you're working on your next book. So can you please tell us about that as well?
Yeah, sure. So the first book was a co-authored book. There
Mhm.
were 16 different women all over North America, and everyone wrote one chapter. The book's name was Spread Your Wings. It was
Mhm.
compiled by Jennifer Jade. And my chapter was for special needs moms. My
Mhm.
message to special needs moms again, to love themselves, to heal themselves, and then do the caregiving for your child from that space and that energy. The second book that I did was in Punjabi, in my native language. The name was Roohaniyat, which means spirituality. And I talked about various topics in that book. I touched on different things about life, death, and everything in between, parenting, and how also the victimhood and how we are scared of what will other things, all those things that I felt like my community needs to hear and listen. That's why I wrote it in Punjabi. And people absolutely loved it. And still, yeah, it's been almost 2 years and I still get DMs and emails.
Amazing.
It has been beautiful experience for sure. And I never planned for it. Everything was happening just on its own, as if the universe is using you to bring this book into the world, is how I felt in that process. I'm just a vessel for that. And then the book currently that I'm working on it would be in English, and it's a self-healing guide for autism moms. So I wanted to share my story and then give some practical tips and emotional toolkit for these moms. And whatever we have discussed so far in this podcast, giving them all the options of self-care, self-love, and self-awareness, self-acceptance, and the spiritual perspective on our kids and their special needs and everything. And I'm working on this book. I'm hoping it will be out within this month. I'm trying my best.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been working for it for more than a year now. Yeah, but I'm really
You're close
hoping
to
that
finished?
Yes, it's almost finished. And my husband is just figuring out the formatting and everything.
Yeah.
Helping me in the background. But yeah, I'm really working passionately on this book, and I hope that some mother will get touched by my
I'm sure
story,
they
or they
will,
will be able to
Jazz.
relate, and they'll know that there is another way of living outside of victimhood and
yeah.
finding joy in this journey. And even though this might not be the life that we expected, but whatever we have right now, it's still joy. It can be joyful if you choose to view it that way. And again, the biggest message is that the mother heals first. Mother needs to look at herself first, take care of herself first, love herself first, and heal herself before serving her children.
I'm sure it will be incredibly powerful and useful for those moms out there.
I hope so.
So if you could sit with every autism mom in the world for just 1 minute, what would you say to her?
Yeah, I would say that yes, motherhood is important. It's the most important role that you're playing right now. But your identity does not end and begin with just begin and end at motherhood. You're much more than that. You are this spiritual being who is on its own unique journey. And you don't have to abandon yourselves or neglect your own needs for your kids to flourish or for to meeting the needs of your kids. You don't have to ignore yourself. You matter. Your health matters. Your mental health, emotional health, physical health matters. And then, yeah, I think the biggest gift that we can give to our children is our own healing. It's the biggest service for them if we are being the most joyful, calm, peaceful person and then serving them. It's our healing that will lead to their healing if they need any. It starts with you. So don't forget yourself in this process. Celebrate yourself, honor yourself, and always remember that this is the best gift. This is what you're doing for your kid, not just for yourself. And you'll see its impact. I can guarantee that. You just have to shift your perspective to your inner self. Just shift and look within and then serve outside.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you, Jazz. What do you think your unique skill set or superpower is that's helped you become successful?
For me in this journey, I feel like I have gift of words, and that's how writing began. I started writing books. I felt this as a responsibility because all my friends would say, like, whenever I send them the birthday wishes, they're always looking forward to my birthday wishes because they're like, the words you use and everything, it just makes our day and we always look forward to it. So I was like, if this is a gift of God, the gift of words, it's my responsibility to use it to make an impact. Yeah. And that's how writing began. And that's how I'm getting with Nishma and Soraya had this event. So I got an opportunity to speak on stage as well. So it feels like, yeah, the words are a gift, a unique skill set, we may call it. And then, yeah, that my biggest strength is, I think, spirituality, because everything shifted once I started seeing things from that lens in my life.
How do you define success?
Success for me now, it's peace within, it's freedom of making your own decisions, it's freedom to choose your own path and do it unapologetically and not feeling shame about your uniqueness. Success is the gift of family, the abundance of love that we get from our loved ones. And success is when you don't have to constantly worry about your future. Success is peace and being in this present moment.
Mm,
Yeah.
love it. What does the word empowerment mean to you?
Empowerment for me is reminding the other person that they are powerful. They have power within, power to heal, power to make an impact. It's already within them. But sometimes they just need an outside reminder to remind them of that power. For me, that is empowerment.
Okay. We're going to jump into a little rapid fire section. So the next grouping of questions just be 1, 2, 3, 4 word answer type thing. Okay.
Okay.
What is your favorite way to celebrate?
I love food and I love sugar and sweet food. So it's always, yeah, the cupcakes and the donuts and everything.
Mhm.
And especially with my family, both my boys love eating sugary food. I know it's not good for your health, and I try to minimize the intake for myself as well as family. But then, yeah, if I have to celebrate, it's always something sweet. And on the dining table, all four of us bringing our spoons and scooping as much as we can. Yeah.
Use one word to describe your 2025.
Okay. 2025 has been adventurous for sure. I I never learned swimming. 2025 was the first time I stepped into the pool and
Wow.
went floating and all of those things. I did a girls only trip that was first time again. Being a mother, I can't even think of that.
Mhm.
I went to Banff with my friend. And then even these podcasts and everything, I started getting invited for these podcasts and all those things. So 2025 definitely was adventure
Mhm.
for my soul.
If you could teach the world one thing, what would it be?
Kindness. I
Hmm.
think if they just be kind to themselves and the people around them and stop judging each other. We don't know their stories. We don't know what they are going through. So just be kind.
Okay.
Yeah.
One book that changed your life.
Oh, there are many actually. But Dying to Be Me by Anita Moorjani, that was the first book that I read.
Yeah.
And yes, it definitely had a very big impact on me.
Mhm. If you could be remembered for one thing, what would it be?
I would want people to remember that she was in love with her life. She knew how to fall in love with life despite of all the outer challenges. She would always find gratitude in everything.
What is one thing you love about yourself that is not related to your physical appearance?
Kindness and compassion. I know how to put myself in the shoes of the person in front of me. And yeah, I think I always not just tried, I think it just comes naturally to me to be kind to everyone. Yeah.
What is one word that defines the woman you're becoming?
Sovereign.
Mm.
Sovereign. Yeah.
Okay.
Accepting and embracing my power. Yeah.
Love it. That concludes our rapid fire section. Now back to our regularly scheduled program. I created a bonus question that I did not send you ahead of time. How do you define love, both the kind you give and the kind you receive?
Love is, I think, the most beautiful emotion in the world, but it's generally misunderstood because we mostly load it with expectations of if I'm loving someone, he needs to give something back to me. Whereas love is this unconditional thing where I just want to give it and I don't expect anything in return. But then, on soul perspective, I understand that there has to be a balance in giving and receiving, which most of us just give. And when it comes to receiving, we shy away. But I've learned in my spiritual journey that you should be open to receiving love as well. That is your birthright.
Yeah. If you could step into my shoes, what is one question you would have asked yourself that I didn't ask you?
Oh, you have done a wonderful job. I think all the questions were amazing. I've enjoyed so much throughout. I think, yeah, we have touched on everything. Yeah,
Thank
you have
you.
done a beautiful job.
Thank you. I received that. See, receiving.
Yes,
We
yes,
need to learn to receive. We do, because it
yes,
also, if we don't learn to receive, it breaks that cycle of giving and
yes,
receiving. It's
yes,
cyclical. You have to keep that going.
yes.
Jazz, if you had the opportunity to sit down and have a 1 hour conversation with one woman, any woman in the world, who would it be and why?
I think it would be my mom,
Mhm.
who has always sacrificed all her needs, all her desires. And she has always served everyone selflessly. And she has constantly lived in fear her whole life. She has constantly tried to protect us and always feared what would other things and what damage they can do. Or so I think if I get an opportunity, I would want to sit with her and tell her that there's nothing to be feared or nothing to be scared of. And
Mhm.
you have the permission to love yourself as well. You have served everyone. You've never thought about yourself. So I would want her to know that she deserves that love because she has been giving so much and she's not good at receiving. So,
Mm,
yeah, definitely.
okay. If you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that piece of advice be?
Thing is happening for your highest good. You have to trust that everything. You might not see it with your human eyes, but
Mm.
it is for your best. So just trust it and keep going. Yeah.
Lastly, if you were to deliver your last 30-second speech to the world, your corner of the world, your tribe, your people, what would that last 30 seconds sound like? What words of wisdom would you impart?
Wow, interesting. Yeah, I would say that you have to understand that I'm not just this body and this mind. I am a soul. I'm that divine life force energy. It's running through this body and playing the game of being human. So don't take it too seriously and don't erase the joy out of it. It's a journey of up and down, of riding. Just ride this journey joyfully. You're a soul and you're always protected. You're always guided. You're always on the right path. Don't overthink. Don't look around and change your desires or anything, your dreams. Look within and connect to your heart and listen to your heart. What has it to say and why you are here? And let that universe express through you. Just surrender. Surrender.
Beautiful, incredible words of beauty to end the interview, Jazz. I have
Thank
so
you.
enjoyed this conversation. It has been
Thank
so
you.
deep, insightful, thoughtful, inspirational, and so powerful. Thank you so much for being here with me today and for showing up and shining your beautiful bright light out into the world. And thank you for allowing me to share in your story and your journey, your vulnerability. I am honored and grateful to have had this opportunity to sit and share in your story. I'm honored and grateful to call you a friend and to have you as a member of the Empowerography community. Thank you so much for all the beautiful light you put out into the world through the work you're doing.
Thank you so much. It was such an honor for me, and I really enjoyed our conversation. And yeah, what you are doing, I just don't have words to tell you how incredible human being you are. And thank you so much for this opportunity. It truly means a lot to me.
It's my pleasure and my honor, Jazz. Once again, my name is Brad Welsh, host of your Empowerography podcast, a platform that was created to help elevate and amplify the voices of women through sharing their stories. Today, my guest has been Jaskirat Kaur. She is a Mindvalley certified life coach, an author, a speaker, and an advocate for mothers of kids with autism. Thank you so much, Jazz. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for listening to this podcast. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with all your friends. You can find me at viseuphoria.ca, follow me on Instagram at Empowerography Podcast, and on Facebook at Empowerography. Please join me next time for another inspirational story from yet another amazing woman.